Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever, wherever, however this post may find you, brothers, sisters, friends, and yes, you too, my enemies. I could never forget you guys. Hey, got a question for you. Have you guys ever watched The Young Turks? Well, there's a black guy on there. They're token black guy. Notice, because he's the only Negro on the show. But anyway, he's a little dude with a finely tapered and penciled in mustache, real smug, tight ass look on his face, like he's smarter than every other individual in the room, named Rashid Ritchie, Dr. Rashid Ritchie. Here's a dude, and this is the mentality of this left-leaning, pseudo-communist black person. He tells you in breath one that the white man is evil and he is ubiquitous, and everything you do you should watch out for the dirty, deceitful, murderous white man. And in the very next breath tells you and I to give up our firearms, knowing good and well that when they collect firearms or confiscate them, buy them back, whatever you want to call it, they're going to get them from people like me, the people who are least able to fight them back and least able to hide them. Okay? Who's that hurt? Black people, of course. Poor people, yes. The 99%, that's who it hurts, especially if they're brown. Now, I had this conversation with a young lady I go to church with, and yes, I do go to church. Now, what? And she's like, but Kirby, we got to do something about this. And I'm like, she's a 40-year-old, middle-aged white woman from South Dakota, North Dakota, something like that. And she's like, I grew up with guns. I understand it, but something's got to be done. I'm like, well, then you know that, like I said a few minutes ago, that when they come for guns, they're going to get them from people like me first. They'll never get them from all your relatives, would they? And she had to answer me, no, they wouldn't. And they'd never get them from criminals, would they? She's like, no, they wouldn't. So who does that leave on the short, dirty, smelly end of the stick? Black people? Yeah, she had to admit. And white women? Yeah, she had to admit. Guess what? I'd rather be living in a unsafe, relatively free state, notice I didn't say free, than I would be, I'd rather live like this than without the ability to fight you back. As it is now, no, I couldn't fight off a SWAT team, but I could at least try. But when all I have at my disposal is a pea shooter, spitballs for a rogue government or a rogue police department, or criminals kicking in my door at 2 o'clock in the morning, or Klansmen coming to lynch me at 1:30 a.m., whatever the case may be, I at least now have the ability to fight back and defend myself, and I have the ability to defend you. Think about that.